Yeah. The Jesus is fake. The Bible is fake. In the way it is being given, servants, obey your masters, beat your slave, but don't kill them. How can you promote such a violence against other human beings, except you find the pen of the Henry, the King James, inserting some passages which are convenient for him, so that this text, by accepting the Bible, you must also accept everything that is in it. And oh man, give me space. Give me space. I'm still thinking, hence I'm rewriting my own Bible. We are on about 450 chapters so far, where we're rewiring. You can't read it.
I think religion is also a problem with Africa, and that is why Joshua Maponga is speaking passionately. Actually, way back I used to say that Maponga is confused or something like that. But now I see the fact that Maponga is not confused. Maponga is talking eloquently against the fact that people in Africa are into religion too much to the extent they are not even working towards achieving their goals. So let's have a look at what Maponga is saying. Then when we come back, we can analyze this video further. Let's have a look at this, man. Let's have a look at this.
Who created us? If your God is telling you to come and kill me, then who made me? Hence, I come up with this concept that I don't think that the God whom the Bible is teaching us about is the one who created all of us. Because this one is a favorite. He's got chosen children. Yeah. And all of you guys must work for these ones. But the ones who are saying they're the ones, you know that they're lying. Revelation chapter 2, they claim to be Jews, but they're not Jews. They're from the temple of Satan. Now, how do we begin to teach a white, colonized, whitewashed religion which excludes us from the Bible or from the text itself? I said it once. I'll say it again. That when you walk through the text and then you die, and then God says to your young brother, go and sleep with your brother's late wife so that you can make a generation for him. When you are getting married, your father says to the servant, take some cows, take some gold, go and pay lobola over there for your son. When you find people who practice these things, they are the owners of the text. Now, how does a white man who does not even know what lobola looks like teach you about the Bible? I think I'm on another level altogether. Yeah. That we want to push each other. Do you believe in Jesus? Do you believe in Christianity? Do you believe in the Bible? I don't think people even have a slightest concept of the historical background where the text is sitting. Why is it that you, as Xhosa people, you actually have your national beads and etc. looking exactly like the Israeli flag? Where do you get that from? The whole Xhosa is Hebrew. Circumcision. Show me another nation that understands circumcision in the line, except that some Hebraic connection between nations. And in Zimbabwe, Friday we call it Gadziriro, day of preparation. Saturday we call it Mgovera, day of sharing. And in Ghana, they have Nyankoponi, which is God of the Sunday, God of the white man, Kwesi Broni, and Nyankoponi, God of the Sabbath. And these are indigenous Akani tribes. So then you begin to understand, no man, in Nigeria, you have people that are still practicing the shofars and the days of Pesach, atonement, traditionally. Then I think poor research has made us buy plagiarized black history through the windows of colonial piracy. It's not genuine. And that's what made me throw it all away.
Look, prayers and fasting is not going to catapult this continent's economy to another level. It's as simple as that. And that is why Joshua Maponga is speaking passionately, eloquently, confidently about this issue of religion. And you see, when we talk about religion in Africa, man, in fact, religion can make your brother even hate you. Even your own father can hate you because of religion. Because we are still enveloped in the colonial system of religion. Okay? Africans are surrendering to prayers and fasting for what they can work for. Okay? They are surrendering to prayers and fasting for what they can work for. Look, if you want to be rich, you have to work extra hard and you have to work extra smart. It's as simple as that. Prayers alone will not make you rich. It's as simple as that. But what are Africans doing? Most of them, they are surrendering to prayers and fasting for what they can work for, thinking that through prayers and fasting, they are going to solve their problems. That is not the law of the jungle. That is not going to work. In fact, the Bible itself, I am not sure of the Quran, but the Bible itself, it's saying that we as human beings, we have to subdue the world. Okay? We have to subdue the world. Okay? For you to eat, you have to work. It's as simple as that. For you to eat, you have to work. So for us, most of us, we want to surrender to prayers and fasting instead of working so hard for us to make sure that the continent is growing and is realizing its potential. That is why Joshua Maponga is always very mad when it comes to this issue of religion. He is always very mad. In fact, in one of the interviews, Joshua Maponga spoke passionately and said that, look, I am writing my own Bible, his own way, his own thinking of what the Bible should be. He is writing it, and possibly maybe our children or our grandchildren will be reading the Maponga's version of the Bible. But the thing is, we have to work hard. We as Africans, we have to work hard. We have to work smart. We have to collaborate. We have to open borders. We have to remove tariffs and non-tariff barriers that is hindering our growth. Simple as that. There's no magic on that. Things have to work before surrendering to prayers and fasting. I'm not against praying, no. Me personally, I'm very religious and I believe in God. But you see, the fact that people think that through praying you're going to become rich, through praying you're going to solve your financial problem, that is not going to happen. Even God himself is telling us, like, you guys, you have to work. Okay? Paul, the apostle in the Bible, he was a tent maker. Okay? And Paul himself, again, he's saying, look, for you to eat, you have to work. For Africa to work, Africa has to remove tariffs and non-tariff barriers. For Africa to work, Africa has to collaborate. For Africa to work, Africa has to involve in science and technology. For Africa to work, Africa has to invest in research and development. Simple. No rocket science there. I sometimes get annoyed when I see most of African leaders attending prayer sessions. Okay, so they are organizing prayer sessions, public prayer sessions, where they are just kneeling before God. That is not the problem. The problem is what they normally do after leaving those places. Okay, most of these people are just corrupt. Most of these people are just killers. Most of these people are just enemy of the people. Okay, so that is why we as Africans, we have to rethink what religion basically means. And I love it when I see President Traore himself. Okay, President Traore himself banned. Okay, he banned the so-called national prayer days, that people have to work. We don't need to be into prayers for so long. Of course, prayers is not bad, but we don't have to be praying and fasting for what we can work for. Let's work hard and let's make sure that Africa as a continent is united. If we do that, even God himself will be blessing us, because we are working. He will be seeing us working. So that is what we call religion in Africa. And sometimes I admire what the Chinese normally do. These people don't even believe in God. They worship the other things. Okay, they are Buddhists. They don't believe even in the existence of God. But look, these people are running the world right now. But we as a continent, we as Africans, who are totally into religion, we are still lacking behind when it comes to development. So you see, if you connect the dots, you come to realize that, no, I think the main problem with Africa is one and squarely of leadership. At the same time, religion is also playing a bigger role in our problems. So we have to work hard, yes. We have to pray to God, yes. But let's not pray for what we can work for. Let's work faster. Let's work fast and pray that God should bless the works of our hand. So, gentlemen and gentleladies, if it's your first time here, show me some love by liking this video, and let's meet in the new one. See you next time. Bye bye.